as far as our season goes, I think a lot of coaches talked about it. We got to go out and play to our level. The one thing you find out in this conference, there's a lot of good football players out there. There's a lot of good coaches out there. I've been amazed just sitting here listening to the stories here tonight. There's some quality young men out there, and that's what's great about Division II. And I feel really good about the group of kids that we've brought into this program, and really the emphasis we've really been putting on this offseason, a little bit about character development, and because those are the things that are going to win you ball games. Those are going to win the things when life gets tough, as Arthur talked about. You talk about a cancer survivor. That's what life is all about, and that's what this game of football is all about, is going out there every day and surviving.
Coach, I was looking at the preseason poll here. You guys picked number 4 in the league, but you have no players on the preseason all-conference team. I think probably first time that's happened since you were the head coach. So I guess the good news is you have a good reputation, but the bad news is that nobody, that is a super standout, I guess, coming back. So a lot to prove yet.
Well, the preseason thing is one thing. It really is, and I know for the players it's hard, and when they get here and see that nobody's on, and I'm sure that's not what they wanted to see. But at the same time, there's a whole season to go out and prove yourself, and I think we got some great young men that if we go out and play like they're capable of playing, hopefully they'll get the awards they deserve at the end of the season. But that's the way it is. Like I said, there's a lot of kids out there that are deserving, and there's only X amount of spots they can put on there. But our kids, I know, will go fight hard to find a spot at the end of the season to be on one of those all-conference teams.
You open the season against Oklahoma Panhandle. I believe that's a Thursday night game on October 4th, which I think is the RMAC opener for the entire year. I think you guys are the only ones playing on a Thursday night, if I have that correct. What are you hoping, to accomplish in that game?
Well, obviously, your first game of the season is something you always look forward to. There isn't anybody who goes through that whole entire off season and doesn't think about their first game, and so we've talked about that a lot. It's kind of nice to open it up on a Thursday night. For whatever it's worth, the kids get to cut the camp a little short a little bit and have something to look forward to. And that first week of school, hopefully we get a lot of excitement, drummed up around town and get people to come out and see it on a Thursday night. So it should be a good ball game, and we're really looking forward to. Panhandle's a very good football team. They've improved a long way. They've come a long way. A lot of teams in this conference have played them over the years in non-league, but we play them, and then we turn around and play Eastern New Mexico, who is they won the Lone Star. So our first 2 games in our non-league, we feel like it's a very good schedule for us.
Now, heading into this season, Coach, I know you've had a lot of quarterbacks the last couple of years. Do you feel like you have a solid number 1 heading into the season?
Well, we have used it, and I think that the college game has changed a lot, that the quarterback is he's vulnerable all the time, but we feel very good about our quarterback situation. We ended up playing last year a redshirt freshman the last part of the season, and in Austin Hillman, and he did an outstanding job for us, and we were very excited about having him back, and we have some other kids behind him who's also played some that really gives us some depth at that quarterback. But it is kind of nice to know who you think is going to be the number 1 guy coming out of camp.
Conor Stevens is starting linebacker, senior from here in Colorado Springs, went to Pine Creek High School. Conor, the last time I talked to you, you were heading into your senior season. I imagine you didn't think you'd be back here at that point last year, but you suffered an injury, were able to redshirt. Does that make you appreciate this year all the more?
Yeah, it does, and I had redshirted as a true freshman, so technically, I still had this year, but yeah, getting hurt's, for all you football players out, it's the hardest thing you have to do. You have to sit there on the sideline and watch your team play without you. So it is. I'm very grateful for this year. I'm furthering my education, and I get to play another season of football. It's awesome.
Now, you've been at Adams State for a little while now, as you mentioned. What has been the change maybe from the time you started as far as expectations go to now?
when I got here, we were a 5-6, 6-5, 500 team, and now, I mean, we've had those seasons. The 8-3, the 7-4, and we need to make that next step to be up there and compete for the league. I mean, we're right there. We just got to get over that hump. We got to show that we can hang with the top teams in the conference.
Cariel Brooks, defensive back from Miami, Florida. Cariel, Miami, Florida to Alamosa, Colorado. How has that transition been for you?
The transition wasn't too hard. Out of high school, I went to Pasadena City College, a junior college in Cali, and I just came to Adams State with the mentality to compete.
Heading into this season, I mentioned you guys are picked number 4 in the league, and you've been kind of right on the cusp there of kind of breaking into that top 3, top 2. What's it going to take this year for Adams State at the end of the season to be talking about a possible RMAC championship?
I mean, it's going to take, hard work, discipline, most importantly, less penalties, and we just have to be consistent. Like, some games we were right there, then we just took our foot off the gas. So, I mean, this season, we plan on doing big things.
Derek Mathiason, defensive end, out of Centennial, Colorado, went to Arapahoe High School. Derek, all these guys up here on the panel are seniors, so that I would think bodes pretty well for you guys this season. How is it different heading into your senior season as the previous seasons?
Well, coming into your senior season, you really appreciate this is your last chance, Got to give it all you got, and I feel like we got a really good leadership here. So I feel good about that, leading our team in the right direction, keeping us working every day, keep staying focused on the task at hand, not getting too far ahead of ourselves and stuff. But yeah, I really like our senior crew, and I think we're going to do good things.
What's it going to take to get to that top 2, 3 in the conference?
It's going to take, like Cariel said, it's going to take discipline and focusing on each game, not looking ahead, getting ahead of ourselves, focus on doing our job and getting what needs to be done.
Conor McKenna, senior offensive lineman from Littleton, Colorado, went to Mullen High School. Conor, same thing as Derek, heading into your senior year, how is this different?
I guess the biggest thing that's different is leadership. Junior year to senior year, junior year you're a leader, but senior year people are really looking up to you. When times are down, you got to be able to up your team and get them going. But so that's been what I've been working on this summer, is learning how to become a leader.
And as far as personal goals for yourself this year, what have you set?
I really don't have too many personal goals. I'm an offensive lineman, so it's a group thing with me, and I want to be the top offensive line of the conference. That's what I want, and if we can accomplish that, then I'll be happy.
Questions for Adams State?
This one is for Conor. Your impression of Austin thus far, and his recovery from last season to this season?
Austin Hillman, correct?
Yes, sir.
He looks great. He's been around all summer. We had more kids in Alamosa this summer than we ever have, and he's out there throwing 7-on-7 every day. His arm looks great. He's put on a little weight. As a young kid, young quarterback, that's really the biggest thing, is being able to take those hits day in, day out. And he really does. He's got some competition behind him too that's going to push him. And our quarterback situations, it's looking really good right now.
Stadium project wrapped up. You've had 2 full years of it. Are you still seeing an impact on that on recruiting?
Well, obviously I think it is. What you look around the RMAC, though, is see how many changes have been made in the RMAC facility-wise. But again, I think our facility does a great job, and it helps us in our recruiting. And there's a lot of unique things about what we got. We added some other things down there in the last year, too, that, we put an indoor bubble in. I know it has a lot of track in it, but, it's really been nice to see our facility, and our kids, I think, have really enjoyed our facility, and it hasn't hurt our recruiting.
Coach, I meant to ask you this at the beginning as well. I believe you have some new coaches on your staff, and what do you see them bringing to the table?
what you find out at this level, and some coaches are fortunate they haven't had turnover, but you see a lot of turnover at this level, and so I've got 2 new coaches on my staff. One is Tony Case, coaching our offensive line. Tony played at Adams State, coached in the league, been in a couple different schools in the league, so a lot of coaches know him. But Tony comes back, and he knows Adams State, and he's got 10 years coaching experience under his belt, and he's done a great job with our offensive line. We also have a new coach that brought a little new blood to our conference and our league. Is a coach, Steve Neal. He's out of Wayne State in Michigan, and he's coaching our receivers, and I'm really excited about what Steve brings to the table. He's got a lot of great experience as a player, as a coach, and just a whole different attitude because he hasn't been in the RMAC and seen a little different football.
Coach, what do you foresee for the defense? A lot of notable losses, Vince, top-notch names, guys, and Eric work on that sheet this season.
And all the coaches do the same thing, but I will tell you this, every year it seems like I get up here, and that's one question I get every year is, how about so-and-so that left on defense? How about so-and-so that left on defense? And, how do you replace those kids? Well, I think what we do is we got some great kids that will step up and do a great job. We got some kids that are hungry to play, and, defensively, they're going to come out and play. I'm really more excited about our offense, and like I said, just having, a lot of those guys back, I think is more important to me than having some guys that left on defense because, we've done a good job with our defense. We just got to be able to come out and, be a little bit more consistent offensively.